I'm going to just touch on one forum subject, so I have a video of it to produce an answer to other videos on YouTube. And that is the Faith of Atheism. And the pinned topic, I'm too smart to believe in God. Some folks hold that a belief in God is illogical, while others consider themselves to be too smart to believe in God. Yet at the same time, they'd have to suggest that DNA evolved from a speck of primal ooze through a series of natural accidents in the opposite of the direction that those natural accidents are shown to actually take. That is, devolution, as demonstrated by birds becoming flightless, and hybrid vigor decreasing with each successive generation after the initial cross. Interestingly, according to the CIA World Factbook, those with no religion are members of an elite 4% of the U.S. population that perhaps consider themselves to be smart enough to believe there is no God. Under religions, none, 4%. These are 2007 estimates. I wonder what proportion of that 4% might be folks between the ages of 14 and 25. It takes a lot of faith for someone to bet their eternity that there is no God in the absence of a transitional form's fossil record. In contrast, God's people have followed him for 3,500 years through two covenants by the 1,600-year record of all of his prophets, apostles, and witnesses. Though much of the church is in apostasy, and many perhaps simply deluded into believing themselves to be Christians, this is just as was prophesied. Though based on the numbers above, it still wouldn't appear that agnosticism and atheism are about to replace belief in God anytime soon in the U.S. But is the growing disbelief in large part the fault of the church? Sadly, because of unsound eschatological doctrine, for example, it is almost a requirement for someone to be outside of the institutional church in order for them to consider, even for a moment, that Muhammad could be the false prophet referenced in the book of Revelation. Indeed, part of the apostate church embraces Islam even as Muslims must profess the exact opposite of the whole subject of the gospel. It is also perhaps a little easier for some folks of the world to see things like how the prophet Daniel predicted two events right to the years of 1948 and 1967, and he did it 2,500 years in advance. What are the odds of that being an accident? What about good and evil? What are the odds of it being an accident that 25% of mankind profess belief in the gospel of the Messiah, wherein we fulfill all the law of God when we love our neighbor as ourselves? This while a directly opposing 25% of mankind profess the exact opposite of the whole subject of the gospel as an article of their faith in Muhammad. This same group with a 1,400-year-long ambition of world conquest and subjugation of all the people of the world to Muhammad's followers. This same group, even today, responsible for over 17,000 deadly Islamic terror attacks around the world just since 9/11, with having killed or displaced 2 million innocents in the Sudan alone. Do you really think this is just some sort of a freaky accident? Tragically, our atheist friends will remain at a disadvantage until they are ready to openly and sincerely approach Jesus Christ with a contrite heart before they can even begin to really see the way. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. I have been called to help 1.5 billion people that have been deceived through their faith in the false prophet Muhammad overcome his antichrist religion. I have not yet been called to atheists, agnostics, and other willful unregenerates, but simply produce this video so I could answer them with a video link, perhaps, but not likely, inspire that first spark of cognitive dissonance in one or two of them that are genuinely seeking out the truth. First link on this video is to the text version, and the second link to a forum section devoted to atheism, where included a few related articles by ex-atheists and such.